actually record.
Hello, welcome back to Tactical Chilli. How are you tonight, Charlie?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, bro. Not too bad. You look tired. What's going
I'm
on?
very tired. I was on holiday last weekend in Australia. Took my daughter over for the last weekend of school holidays to go to the Penny Arcade Expo. There were a ton of people. Everything we wanted to do had at least a 1 hour queue. And I told her it was practice for Disneyland, so we're good.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's because Disneyland will be longer wait
Yes,
time. Don't worry,
exactly,
unless you
exactly.
unless you get the fast track, but it's more
Yeah.
expensive. But yeah, that makes sense. But I thought, whoa, you go on holidays, you are going to come back refreshed and with more energy.
No,
Just look like shit.
well, she stayed home on Monday. We got back at about 2 a.m. because there was some delays at the airport. And I went straight into work. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Well,
and then
well,
someone's making me record tonight. So there's that.
yeah, that's good. It's good to have you back, and you need to write the players back. So start typing, please. Um, but for that reason, I have help tonight. We have more than one. We are going to talk about today about the tournament that just happened on the weekend. In Rotorua, Carnage around the Geysers. We
Yes.
have two players that went down the well. One is from the area from Rotorua, but the other one is the champion. Went all the way from Auckland down there, and apparently somehow he managed to win with a shit faction. That's what they say. I don't know. It's not my words. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of gutted because there's a couple of good tournaments that was run last weekend, wasn't it? And I had people from both
Yes.
tournaments messaging me, and I was suffering so much FOMO while I was in line for ages, and just wishing I could have been at one of these tournaments playing. But you know,
Yes, we are going to cover the other one next week, I guess. That's the Manawatu Maelstrom 2,
that's the one.
Palms
That's the
North.
one.
Yes.
Yes, there's some spicy
Yes.
games that went on in that one too. Because I was talking to
Yes.
Tyler over the weekend and Mrs. Sean as well. So yeah, be great to get one of them on.
Yep, that will be. But tonight we have our coming back, both of them, Tate and Chris. Give it a welcome to Tate and Chris. How are
Cool.
you guys?
Good evening.
Doing well,
Sure.
thanks.
Yes, good to see you both. I was with you just for a little bit during the Rotorua event. Uh, how was that, guys? Did you enjoy this the tournament? Rotorua is quite cool. Roto Vegas, for the people that don't know, it's quite interesting, and I think it's quite cool to have a tournament down there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely it's a really good place to have a tournament like Lakes, which is next month in November.
Yes.
It's just a really central place for like the Wellington people can kind of make the trip up because it's only like 5.5 hours. The Auckland people, it's like 3 hours to get down. Like it's more central than a lot of other tournaments. Whereas like otherwise you have to go to Auckland or to Wellington. So it is that nice like middle ground for a tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
agree
think
with
the
you.
best part for me is just getting a soak in one of the spas or like a hot
Yeah.
pool. Uh, the Saturday night just it relieves so much stress on the
Bro,
physical
Hundred.
fatigue. So good.
Liam planned for us all to do that, and then decided that we weren't going, and no one had bought togs except me. I was gutted. I was looking forward to that.
Good. Good.
That's like half the reason I went.
Yeah. Funny.
So that yeah that sucks. You if you go to Rotorua, you need to plan to go to a hot pool or at least have it in your hotel or whatever you're staying. Because otherwise, what's the point of going there if you are not soaking your bloody bones in hot pool? There's no point of that.
No, for
Yeah.
lakes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we you both guys pretty much first place and second place from on the event. Both
Yep.
had kind of a we will say slow start, small winning. I think was both of you guys winning.
I think
Or
Tate
did you
started on
take
a bigger win. I think.
you
Yeah,
started in a big one, Tate?
I got a very kind of play the models you have towel list, and sort of had the ideal setup of getting to drop first, screen out the infiltrators, and then go first. And a lot of stuff was tagged, so it was just an unfortunate matchup for them. But otherwise, very close games. Yeah.
As the
Um,
only person that wasn't there, before we dive into Tate's very specific turn-by-turn details, what do you want to give us a rundown of, what kind of tournament, what kind of terrain was used, formats, that kind of stuff? I
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
assume
yeah.
it's
yes.
2,000 points, yeah. Because this is the first event that Rotorua Wargaming has done, isn't it?
This is the first 2 day event. We've done a couple of like 1 dayers and stuff like that because it's
That's
kind of
right.
all the
Yes.
terrain we've been able to get a hold of and stuff. So we borrowed some terrain from Tactical Chilli. So thanks you guys for giving us some terrain and some mats. It was awesome to have that. But it was a bit of a mixed bag. It was 2,000 points, Pariah Nexus missions, as you would assume. But there was some Games Workshop terrain layouts and some WTC layouts, and there was some WTC
Ah.
terrain that was set up with Games Workshop layouts,
Oh,
which
that's fun.
was yeah. Me and Tate both commented on it multiple times, but like the Games Workshop layouts are very different to WTC,
Very
and you have
bizarre.
to play them
Very different.
very.
Yes.
If you look at them, we both stood at a table for about 5 minutes, being like, "So, I guess I
How
can hide."
long hold this?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely very interesting to have to play around. It was my first time playing on GW terrain, and it was it was a lot sort of more open than I was used to. It was fun to have the different experience. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I find GW terrain favors, well, is not as restrictive as WTC when it comes to vehicles and bigger
Yeah,
models,
yeah,
because they have less walls, just generally less walls, and they rely on obscuring a lot more. So,
yeah.
yes.
I mean, I think you both played more infantry heavy lists as well. Did you
Yeah,
find it
both
kind
got
of
a bit of
changed your
mix.
playstyle?
I had the nice because I had my list was Renegade Raiders with triple ACDC bricks, triple Predators,
Of
and
course it
so like the
was.
Predators were great. And ACDC's been able to block out the walls because they were using GW FAQ as well, not WTC FAQ. So you
Oh,
can block out walls and stuff like
yeah,
that. So
yeah,
there's a couple of games where, especially my round one against the other CSM player there, we
yeah,
kind of just like boxed out the ruin, so we couldn't. Neither of us could charge each other, and we're like, cool,
yeah,
we're not
yeah.
going to like advance and charge out and risk it. So like we kind of just stood still the whole game because neither of us could actually go out and attack each other. So
Oh,
yeah, it's very
interesting.
interesting. Yeah, very different
Yeah.
play patterns than WTC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
yeah. I think that 2 inch, the 1 inch from the wall was probably the biggest difference. Being able to plan around just making stuff unchargeable was,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty big.
What about you, Pato? You played round one, right?
yes, I play round one. Just round one. Thank you for reminding me that. Um,
Highest scorer for round one.
He technically went.
I play. I had like I was lucky because I played round one in WTC terrain. But what was interesting that the mission was one of those ones that you don't play. The deployment is one of the not in the WTC is the new
Sweeping. Yeah.
sweeping
True.
engagement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
So that one is the 16 inches gap in the middle for storm lances. Just fucking amazing.
Sounds pretty
I
good
was playing.
for units that move 19.
Yes, and charge.
Yes,
Yeah,
pretty
wow.
much.
Yes.
Imagine that.
Yes, pretty much. But yeah, my opponent knew about that, so he kind of like what he did was divide the forces in two blocks, which gave me the opportunity to do the same with my force, but tagging in one corner one and tagging the other one in the other side, and then just clap them at the end of the day with my gold turn, which worked. And I killed pretty much most of his army by turn two.
Oh,
Yeah,
battle.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Turn
what did
three
you
was
what did you
Magno
play?
exploded.
Oh, you played T Suns. Okay.
T-Sense, yeah, yeah, T-Sense. So it was the Thika list, three Muta, yeah, three Muta list, a lot of rubric marines, the all the characters, a rhino to move around the stuff and jump and do that the extra inches, and Magnus, pretty much that was the list. Yeah, but that was my only round. Yes, that's the only round that I
You got
played.
afraid
After,
and scared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
to be honest, as I see to Charlie, Charlie has the message, so I'm not lying. He can vouch for me. I said I saw the people here. This is too easy for me, so just bug it off, go to the soup. No,
You were scared. You were scared. You were scared.
Nothing to
not
do with
true.
your wife, eh?
Yes,
There was a greater power at
Uh,
force.
He was scared of
it
something or
was a great
someone.
one.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, my we have had a couple of rough months, I will say, weeks with the moving and everything. As you know, if you listen to the last podcast, during the moving, we have the event. So pretty much, I was absent for 2 days. All went to her. She's also having a lot of pressure at work. So at some stage, I was like, it's like I could play. She actually, when I came back, she said to me, "Go back, go and play." It's like, nah, no, it's not going to happen. I prefer to sacrifice this today, and put also my brownie points up, because it's all about brownie points.
Wise.
We have
always
the
is.
teams. Yeah, we have the teams event. We having the Lakes of Blood. So I was like, I needed to do a decision there, and I think was the correct one. Not going to lie, guys. That's pretty much what I took that decision. So
I don't know,
happy
man.
with my decision.
You let GSC win a tournament.
I
Yeah.
know, man. I know.
If you're gonna,
We are going to do a face off with Tate.
No, but Tate's gonna get a points increase now. GSC's
I
ruined.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
but so are the Thunderwolf cavalry. They're gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's gonna be excellent.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen.
So okay,
Um,
so you all three of you won your round one games.
Yep.
yes.
A couple of big wins, and I think Chris, you said you had more of a standoffish, drawish game.
Got 11
Uh,
points. It was scored in
yeah.
differential, which was really cool. One thing that
Yeah.
Rotorua Wargaming really likes is actually having close games. So if a close game is close, it should be a draw, which is
Yeah.
what like differential kind of shows. So they actually really like in a lot of their normal games, they just play with a differential, just like
Oh,
within
that's really cool.
points. Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually makes sense, especially for like newer players. Just you can kind of see how well you played in that game as well.
Yeah.
Whereas like if
Yeah.
you just get if you like lose huge, it's like that kind of sucks. Whereas like I actually got 5 points out of that. Like you can feel
Yeah.
like a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They score all the score WTC scores. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like great practice for teams, right? So like obviously
Yes.
Rotorua is sending a team to tactical Immortal Chili's
Yes,
next
they
month. So like that's another reason why they're trying to practice in differential as well. I went around to the club a couple of weeks ago and actually practiced pairings with them and stuff like that, so they could actually really kind of grow with that, which was kind of cool. It was
Very
one of them.
cool.
A couple of them were like, "So how do pairings actually work?" I was like, "Oh, okay,
Oh,
let's
damn,
go."
let's go.
Well, on that
That's-
point, what I'm trying to release along with the players pack and the mission pack is a kind of a pairings guide. So I don't want to put all of the pairings information in the players pack, just it confuses everyone. But a separate guide with some illustrations or something, and maybe you guys can help QA it afterwards, do a bit of a check.
Sweet, yeah.
Just how pairings work and general advice and tips, and just help the newer teams, the beginning teams, just have a better handle on how pairings work. Not like us when we first started. Just I guess we'll put a card down, just whatever.
just
choose
confused.
a card. Like
Yeah.
choose a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
trying
that should be
to
cool.
what is an attacker, what is a defender, and all of that kind
like
of
all
stuff.
the different roles, when we design this, what the roles should be able to do and that kind of stuff.
Seems like a cool podcast episode as well, like a pairings 101 or something like that.
Yeah. So before the teams event, we're hoping to get one out just to go over some of the pairings and what teams format actually is in detail. Yeah,
Cool.
Should be
That
fun.
will be part of the stuff. But round one was I think was it's I guess is the first round you pair randomly. Chris, you were unlucky. You got the a very complex matchup as the mirror match, both playing the same kind of stuff or the archetype of list. Tate, you went against a Tau, you get all the good stuff. You started, you deployed first. The Alexandra didn't have a very meta heavy list. Was about the miniatures that she has and yes or no?
Yes.
Um,
Well, yeah, to an extent, like it was sort of trying to do the meta stuff. Like it had a lot of breaches, but no devilfish to go with them, kind of thing. So they were
ah,
sort of
lacking something. Yeah, but it makes sense. Well, there's a lot of new players there, or players that are trying to get into there, and it is good to see them. After I don't know, after that you get some advice or somebody asks you what do you think about my list? I don't know. They always happen when yeah. So it's
yeah.
cool to see that. But let me bring the rounds actually.
Actually, do you guys want to quickly go over your lists that you ran
Yes, we could.
for
Let
people that don't
me
have
go.
access to BCP?
Yeah, let me
Sure.
go.
Tate, you want to go first? Yours is more
Yeah.
complicated than mine.
I don't
Well,
know. It's
that
just
the rest of the episode just talking about Tate's list.
Yeah.
The full episode talking about Tate list. Yep.
yeah.
Let me bring Tate list. Give me 1 second. The list. This one. Excellent. This is Tate. GSC, which is not surprised there. Tate, you have been playing this GSC for the last couple of months, I guess.
Yeah, sort of since the codex came out, I've been sort of trying to get a decent amount of games with all the detachments, sort of figure out what one I like the best. Yeah,
Yes. Do you like the Outlander clause, the one that you prefer?
yeah, that was the one I sort of initially gravitated towards. Was either this or the Xenocree detachment, and I started off playing this. I felt that this was the best one, but quite a different list with more sort of three big bricks of bikes to sort of move block. They can be quite tanky in the shooting matchup with the 4-up invuln and stealth. Um, but then I've sort of obviously the Innes Wilson list has been a big influence and is very similar, but sort of converged a lot more on that MSU board control kind of build over time. Yeah,
Makes sense. So you have the Kilowolf, that's your warlord. The second one with an enhancement, and the third one, 3 Kilowolf. Why not?
I don't.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, Chris's
I don't.
favorite
I
mod.
don't. Yeah. I don't think those should be in the list. I think those are. That you can just get rid of those. I don't think you need them.
Definitely don't auto win games.
We are going to come back to that, guys. Just hold on that. Reductus Saboteur, that is your infiltrator land with the demolition.
Yeah, we hate her. If 4 out of 5 games she rolled a 1 to do her bomb, terrible.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course, that always happen. Some hybrid here with auto pistol. That
yeah,
is the small squad. Then you have the hybrid with hand flamer. 1, 2.
So go back to that first one. That's the
yeah.
melee squad. It's got 3
Yes,
mining tools.
that which never does any melee because it sits on your home and farms you CP because that's its data sheet rule for some reason.
Yep.
Yep, good.
This
But
is
you
the
could,
one
you
that
could.
You could,
yes.
and I sometimes have when I'm in a. I think once Dylan rapid ingress like Iron Strider or Dragoon behind me, and the melee squad with their anti-vehicle 4+ picked it up. It was the one time
Nice.
they've done combat. Yeah,
This is the one that I kill in your home objective with my Wolfenstein, my assault jump against SS.
yes, yeah. That
Storm
whole
hostile
jumping
objective.
was
Because
horrible.
I draw a storm hostile objective and he was in no bloody objective except home objective. As I fire out, I need to all the way there. Cool. Let's send whatever I have left. There you go.
Yeah, it was very annoying. Well, I don't think you stormed it because I think I had the
Yeah, you
606
have the vehicle.
on there as well. Yeah, so I don't. But yes, you killed my CB
No,
unit.
I think it was not the storm hostile. It was the other one. They killed
Oh,
a unit
overwhelming.
and an
Yeah,
objective. Overwhelming,
yeah,
overwhelming. So that
yeah,
was the only thing that I could do. But yes, that's the heavy mining.
yeah.
Stay on the home objective. So hand flamer 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh
5,
baby.
5 hand flavor units.
with
Uh,
no demo charges. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yep, that's just because I think in the wake of the demo charge nerfs when the codex came out, then they're no longer very reliable. Like I think in a couple of the detachments, you'd play one 10-man unit with demo charges with a character and an enhancement to do a lot of
Yep.
damage. This is sort of like death by 1,000 cuts. Like 3 of those units with the +1 AP from the Ridge Runner can kill a small knight on an objective. Like they can versus Hamish Reeve, I was killing like Deathwing Knights with them slowly. You trigger the Armor of Contempt on one of them, and then the other one can't Armor of Contempt, and it just eats a heap of AP1, ignores cover saves.
Yep.
They're also really great for denying primary. They still get there, so they have the reroll wounds versus objectives ability, which works with their hand flamers and in combat, so they can sort of shoot something and then charge onto the objective.
Yep.
They retain the +1 AP from the Ridge Runner because that lasts for the turn now in the Codex, so they sort of hit reasonably or harder than you'd expect in combat. And again, it's just the chip damage adding up. They're really good.
Yeah.
And great against Eldar.
Yeah, excellent against Eldar. Yeah, even that they honestly kill lots of stuff. It's just how many activations you need to put into it. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Then we have the Neophyte Hybrids. This is a 10-man squad.
Yeah. So that's a bit more of just having an OC dump. So I've normally have one of them in a truck which can jump out and just sort of put 20 OC on something. They take the Falcon ability from the truck quite well to give them reroll wounds on the disembark, but they're still the damage is okay. Also, the icon is quite nice to regrow D3+3 models. That was quite big in my game versus Dave Louis. I charged them onto an objective with some Ravagers, and he wasn't able to kill them completely. So then in my command phase, they would regrow back and steal the objective.
Of course, it's command phase now, isn't it? It's not movement.
Yes, yeah, it's command phase now. Yeah, objective play. The Acolyte hybrids are as well, but the 10 OC2 models is handy.
Yeah.
Handy dandy. So you have 2 of those?
Yep.
Of course, the big change with them is you can't take
more
than 2. Yeah, so you can't take 2 of the same, like 2 seismic cannons or 2 mining lasers per 10 now.
Yeah.
You have to take different weapons.
I think actually a change perhaps for lakes, or depending on data slate, when I run this next, is the mining laser is, I think, getting replaced with a heavy stubber just for more shots, because the one shot hitting on a 5 is just... I wanted to add just a bit more sort of chip sources of anti-tank, but it's just so inconsistent that I think the heavy stubber is probably just better.
Yeah, especially without a primus for rerolls, that's just hitting on 5s feels bad.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Then you have the Goliath tanks.
Yep, just transports. They're really useful if your opponent has been smart and not put their stuff on objectives for the hand flamers to pick up, because they can disembark, they can get the fire support, and they can still reroll wounds. And obviously synergize with the detachment quite well. Yeah. Can -1 damage them. They're a bit more durable than you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. The -1 damage is very annoying, to be honest.
What is the detachment rule for Outlander Claw for people that don't play GSC?
It is double OC for vehicles and mounted units, which is really big on these bad boys. The Ridge Runners and the Rock Grinders going to OC6 is huge, especially the 2-man units. Not that you're really using them to contest objectives until maybe late game, but the high OC is really useful. And then the other cool trick that we'll get to with the Atalan Jackals, which is the bike units, is they get sticky and they scout 9. So if you're going first, you can scout onto an objective, you then control it in your command phase, and it becomes sticky. You can then run away, and your opponent has to put stuff onto objectives to stop you scoring them, and then you can begin to kind of whittle down their resources. Yeah. That's the detachment rule. Sorry, who is?
No, I was going to say that's why you have here the Ridge Runners. So 2 units.
Yeah, so the Ridge Runners are kind of they're a good anti-tank. They're also really good because the heavy mining laser is basically a D3 shot las cannon, but it has
Yes.
blast, and there's two models in the unit, so they're very good sort of anti-marine body, anti-terminator as well, because the blast just means you get a huge amount of shots coming out of them. You're getting double the blast, 2d3. They're very swingy, like they're a bit casino-y. So they're kind of like, and they're also sort of the only real good source of dedicated anti-tank you have. So I think one thing I've learned over practicing the list is they're one of the only things you don't really want to lose early. Most things are redundant, and there's built in it could come back. You have multiples of the unit, but they're one of the things you want to keep alive.
Yeah, definitely. My Thunderwolf doesn't like them.
No, well, not when they pass all their 4-up inbounds, mate, and I roll multiple ones to wound.
Well, I also put you the -1 to hit and -1 to wound
Yes,
with
yeah, they don't like
against
-1
your
to hit.
odd. Yeah, yeah. Atalan Jackal, sorry, you have two squad nows, but it's the small
5
squad.
mans. Yeah. Just because I think the 10 mans are overcosted. They're only good in like range matchups. They're very good into Tau, but yeah, they're good. They're there for that scout and sticky trick kind of thing. Yeah, rock grinders. Love the model.
Three of
Good for
them.
Yep, good for early trading. They each carry an acolyte hybrid squad. They have open topped. OC6, their combat is surprisingly good, so they can go charge
Yes.
into something, and then they have a cheeky sort of desperate escape when you fall back from them as well, which is quite nice. Well, quite not handy, but yeah, they're mainly just charging some OC6 onto stuff. Yeah, bit more anti tank, but a good combat. Yeah, and pure strains because infiltrate is good.
Very,
And
Yeah.
very.
it's necessary.
Yes, yeah,
It's
yeah.
necessary.
That's
Oh,
the
you
list.
you got rid of the indirect fire.
No, sorry, I didn't talk about that. One of the single Ridge Runner has the heavy mortar instead of the
Oh,
double
there is
Yeah,
this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
that's
Yeah,
just to apply the AP1 where you need it.
Yes. Yeah. So what I
Yeah,
didn't mention is when they shoot something until the end of the turn, my whole army gets +1 AP versus it. So the mortar can just ping that somewhere and can, if needed, like in the Chaos Knight or the Guard matchup, where the Rocks or Acolytes are going to get shot off my home, it can just sit on my home with OC6.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. Yeah, so that is your list, Tate. It is the more it's not that you see every day that kind of genocide cult basically. And then Chris, you drop your Tau,
I did.
the old
I did.
trusty Tau, and you went for the Renegade Riders. And when I ask you on that was the end of the last the tactical Chilli event, and I ask you, are you playing that? I say, yeah, I've been rocking this on TTS, so I wanted to give it a go. So what is your list and how that yeah.
So yeah, I basically copy and pasted the French list. Conveniently, we're in the French shirt tonight. And then realized there's parts of that list that I just really didn't like the possessed in that unit and that army list were really bad. So I moved some things around a little bit. The Master Possession got changed out for Chaos Lord. And then yeah, I've been playing it a bunch. Just wanted to try something different, something that had shooting but also had melee. Playing Tau, you really kind of start missing having like things that can go through walls and fight things. So I was like, I wanted to play an army that did that. Orcs are in a weird place, and I needed to hobby up too much. And this list, I could just borrow from all my friends and not have to paint a single thing. So it was excellent. Yeah, so it starts off with Renegade Raiders. So I get +1 AP if I shoot something or fight something on an objective, and my entire army has assault, so everything can advance and shoot. So it
Yes.
starts with a Chaos Lord with Demon Hammer. He goes with 5 Legionnaires. I have Cypher because he is absolutely a badass. He has the
Yes.
12-inch Lord of Deceit. So the 12-inch all strats cost 1 more CP, which is really awesome to have. And also he shoots like way harder than he should, and his melee is the same as his shooting, so he just hits quite hard.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yes, it
surprisingly
is.
good. Then 3 Dark Communes. One of them has that top one has the Mark of the Hound, so they retain the 6-inch Scout because Accursed Cultists have scout natively, but when you attach the dark communes, they lose it. So this one, because it has Mark of the Hound, gets to keep it. So 3 of those, very self-explanatory. They're pretty nuts. Everyone kind of knows what they do at this point. 2 units of cultists, just good objective holders, of course sticky, just good useful pieces. 2 units of legionnaires, with the usual loadouts, las cannons on top. Got 2 rhinos, 2 rhinos.
Yes.
So, Chris, the Legionnaires, they actually hit quite hard in this detachment, don't they? If you're on an objective.
Yeah.
If they're going in sort of turn 3, turn
no.
4, they can clear out a lot of stuff. Because they're still Marines with good combat profiles.
Yeah, 100%.
The free AP1 is just,
Basically, making the Power Fists AP3 and the chain swords AP2 is really good with full wound rerolls, especially the unit with the Chaos Lord. I had a Chaos Lord one shot a Dreadnought in one of my rounds, and it's just like, that just happens. So because when you get full wound rerolls, it just becomes pretty absurd. They hit above their weight. They've got a really good rule. They always reroll 1s to wound, and then there's full wound rerolls if they're fighting something on an objective. Just makes them really consistent. And for 90 points, you can't ask for much more than that.
Makes sense. Then
but just
2 rhinos.
Yes, 2 rhinos. Just again, good. I have 2 units of rubrics further down. So I got 1 unit of legionnaires, 1 unit of rubrics, basically in each rhino. 3 units of accursed cultists, which get attached to the dark communes. So these guys are pretty nuts. Like, if you don't know what they do, they are pretty absurd, right? Like, they with the dark commune attached, they have a 5-up invulnerable save on a 21 model unit. They have 16 of the models have a 6-up feel no pain. 6 of the models have 3 wounds. 10 of the models have 1 wound. And all the 10 1 wound models, you do not care if they die one little bit. So you have effectively, I think it's 13 just like oblative wounds in the unit that you don't care if they die. But they have a 5-up invulnerable save and a 6-up feel no pain. So it's really hard to chew through it and actually get to the scary stuff. And every time you shoot at them, they get to move closer to you and ending an engagement range, which is just absurd. It is a very silly, very, very silly rule that is very strong. But very fun to play with. Very, very fun to play with.
I agree.
And then so after that, I have 3 Chaos Predators. These are destructors, so they have +1 AP if they shoot infantry. Notably, if you then shoot something on an objective and it is infantry, the autocannon is AP3 and the las cannons are AP6. So you kind of just punch through a lot of things. It's quite fun. Also, the Havoc launcher getting to AP2 sometimes is just really good. It's very versatile. The las cannons on the sides were very swingy. Again, sorry to pick on Raymond, my round 3 opponent, but I was like, I'll shoot 1 Predator at a Dreadnought that I can see a little bit, get some plink damage, accidentally killed it. I was like, okay, cool. Did nothing for the rest of the game, but I was like, I'll take it. But very swingy. You cannot, 2 las cannons, you can't guarantee you're both going to hit. There's no rerolls with it at all, so it's just, you get sustained hits, but if you don't roll 3-ups to hit or 3 or 2s to wound, it just very inconsistent. But good, very good with Renegade Raiders getting that advance and shoot is just really good. You can get them to where you need them really, really easily.
And the sustained hits is from Dark Pact?
Yes, Dark Pacts.
They still get Dark Pact.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter in this detachment if you fail the Dark Pact, as long as you make a Dark Pact. You just take mortal wounds if you fail the Dark Pact.
Right, yep.
So really consistent. You can take lethal hits sometimes if you're trying to shoot into something really big to get the autocannon to have lethals. But you really want those sustained for the las cannons, because when you pop off and roll that 6 on a las cannon, it just feels so good. So good.
Here's the Robbering Marines.
2 units of rubrics, which are absolutely insane in this detachment. These are probably my most standout unit, just because in Renegades, they can advance and shoot. They get +1 AP if they shoot on an objective. They get full wound rerolls if what they're shooting controls the objective. And on 6s to wound, they get an additional AP. So AP3 flamers on 6s to wound is just, it's nuts. They're so efficient, especially for 105 points. Still battle line as well. So all the mission rules that work with battle line, you got the Legionnaires and the rubrics that benefit from them. So they were absolutely amazing. I would not leave without them. They were very good. That was the list.
Yes, that's the list. So, um, yeah, that's a very very strong list here. What is this link here?
I can't remember what that one is. I'm pretty sure that one's just a bunch of like pictures of Nicolas Cage with guns, but I'm not sure exactly.
I was going to say, is
I-
it appropriate for the
Yeah.
for the stream?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, so maybe not. Maybe don't.
I
This-
opened it. I opened it on the side, and it's just Nicolas Cage.
Oh, good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
I,
very, yeah.
if this list were Fish's list, I would not dare to open that
Yeah.
link.
You wouldn't be seeing YouTube as the first.
You're right, sir. You're right. But yes, let's not try our luck today.
So we go into round 2.
Yes, let me go back to the Carnage. Here it is. Cool. So knowing that, going to round 2, we have the
First of all,
lucky.
we're missing someone now.
Yeah.
Oh, where's he gone?
What happened?
A certain canine enthusiast missing.
Yeah, it's missing.
Dog
But
jail.
Yeah.
dog jail was put on jail. The jail player was put on jail. Let's say it that way. Okay.
Yes. Sad.
Sad day. But look at what happened. Tait went against Chris. This is very unlucky.
very
of
spicy.
Yeah.
Yes. So what happened here? How Gene Stealer Cold managed to beat your list, Chris?
I just want to put out that Games Retreat really needs to put the points up on Calamorphs. It would be the main thing.
To be honest with you, they are very cheap for.
They are very good. They are very
Right,
good.
they are. Yeah.
And they are cheap too. But
I feel like some dark communes got precision out of the units.
Oh
No,
no,
not even that.
No?
Not even that. Much more
No?
simple. But like
Even
going
that.
into the game, yeah. Going
More
into the game,
spicy.
I feel like it was fairly even. We both really wanted to go first. Like we both deployed in a way that's like, oh, like it's tough if we go second, much better if we go first. I lucked
What was
out
the
in
mission? Did that make any difference?
It was
Taken
just
hold?
it was taken hold on Hammer
Okay.
and Anvil.
It was more
Okay.
it was more so the terrain and the dynamic of how our scout moves would play out. With
Yeah.
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 I didn't
Yeah,
want to
'cause-
infiltrate, so he could springboard, and I wanted to sticky stuff. Sorry, you go, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. And if Tate goes first, it gets to sticky the two middle of like the two of the objectives, and then go off them, and then I have to send all my army out to hold those objectives. It's also a big
Yeah.
issue for me as well.
Yeah.
It was very hard to hold those side objectives. There's one little pocket that you could,
Yeah.
but you couldn't hide like a full unit. Well, you could hide like 5 bikes, but you couldn't hide like a lot of stuff in that area, which just made it really tricky. So whoever goes first can gain a little bit of momentum. But saying that, I did go first. And yeah, I was like, oh, cool. I'm just going to go be slightly aggressive. I had a cute play. Tate saw it coming, though. Reactor moved his bikes. And then I was like, oh, now I need to roll a 9 to make this charge. Banged the 9. And then we decided afterwards, probably wasn't the right call. So, but that was funny. So I ended up killing the bikes, which is what it was. And then about my accursed cultist unit that killed the bikes ended up just being a little bit too in the open. And then Tate put his whole army about 7 inches away from the accursed cultist brick, but specifically put the Calamorph in range. And what does a Calamorph do, Tate?
So yeah, so I had the backup of the close. You had to surge into the rock grinder if I
Yes,
felt. So what a Calamorph does is after it shoots infantry, the infantry has to take a battle shock. If ACDC are battle shocked, they cannot surge. So we had the So that's what happened. But we had the backup plan of rock grinder, which can shoot into combat, can fight, takes
Yes.
very little damage from ACDC. And when you fall back from it, you have to desperate escape on the whole unit. Would be what he surged into if he didn't fail the battle shock. And unfortunately for Chris, he did fail the battle shock and got feed into by 2,000 points of Genestealer Cult. Lost.
Now,
Yeah.
this is a plan generations in the making, right?
It did feel like that.
Plans within plans. I love it. This is GSC all over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But so that definitely put the momentum in Tate's favor, I think. I don't think the game was over at that point.
No, it
But like,
wasn't.
Because
it
that was just
definitely
one brick, wasn't it?
One brick, yes.
ACDC.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
The
was
trickiest
turn
part
one.
was it was turn 1 though, so I lost a brick turn 1. and
Yeah.
I only traded it for bikes. So,
Yeah.
and we also got the bikes back. So like, I really traded them for nothing, which is very rough.
Yeah.
Wow, you rolled that 5 up, Tate.
It was a turn 1, mate. The 4 up.
Tim,
The
of
turn
course,
four
it's a
up.
4 up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's rough.
But yeah, but like we played out the rest of the game. It was going fairly well. I ended up having to sit into the tank a lot more, so I was burning into my clock a lot to plan like how do I actually get back into this game? How do I turn it from what I was thinking like was like a small loss into potentially a draw or a win? And I had a couple of plays. I also found so I sent another ACDC unit in turn 3, I think, and it killed a couple of things. It did what it needed to do. But then,
Until
also
another
failed the
triple
battle
moth.
shock again.
For the killer moth,
excellent.
yeah.
Yes, failed the battle shock again, and then lost that unit. And that's kind of where it started to spiral out of control, I think. But Tate played it really well. He always played to every one of his outs the entire time. He's like, "Okay, I need this to happen," and if this, he always had a backup plan, and then he often had a backup plan for his backup plan. It was really clean play. Like it was really good. I was like, oh, just forget one of these things, please. Like, but no, it was really nice. It was a really fun game to play.
Yeah. No, it was a great game, and I think I would have loved to see how it played out if you hadn't failed one or both of the battle shocks because it was very unlucky. So yeah.
No, it was good. But yeah, you played to your outs and fuck killer morphs.
Can't fault you for that one.
yeah.
Well, that's another R rating for this episode. All good.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Yes.
I said it really quietly, so like hopefully it's
Nah, it's all good.
My daughter listens to this, mate. Come on.
I've heard the way Pardo talks around your daughter. But
Yeah, no, this is not a child-friendly podcast. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm from South America, man. That swearing is kind of our second language, so let's not make can do it in different ways. But yeah, I think you guys play this game was quite interesting. I guess because of the same. You have a army that can do a lot of damage, Chris, if there is lead to do, and you can put a lot of pressure. And Tate, you need to trade carefully, otherwise you can lose very fast your activation, and then it's when you start having issues. You cannot score secondaries, you cannot hold the primaries, and need to start sacrificing the big pieces, the one that you don't want to get in combat, I guess. So lucky for you, your plan A worked, and you didn't needed to use the plan B. But as you say, interesting will be if the other way happened, and how do you come out? Because I think your plan B was actually quite good. Because
Yeah.
if you put the
Yeah.
ACDC on a rock grinder, you Chris, you need to think about, I'm going to desperate escape and lose the whole squad for.
Nah, that wouldn't have happened though because Renegade Raiders have the fallback at the end of the fight phase strat, so I never need to do the desperate escape.
still a fallback.
Is
Is
it?
it?
Oh,
Well,
true. It is a fallback, so you still have to do it.
It's
Yeah,
a fallback.
you need to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, lame.
You need to do it. It's a fallback, but
But it's-
that's the thing.
Yeah. I think that's not the main thing though. I think it's the fact that the rock grinder still gets to activate. You punch the rock grinder, you're wounding on 6s, you're AP1, I'm -1 damage, and then the rock grinder kills like another 5 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, no,
it's
like,
just
yeah.
it's target. Yeah. But I think I think the big one honestly was the second battle shock fail. Like the first one, I think regardless of whether or not you'd failed that battle shock, the unit would have died. It's just whether or not it was sort of really shut down and then died in the next turn. But I think the second one was really big because that unit was quite well poised to do quite a lot of damage if it hadn't failed that battle shock. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it would have tagged your ridge runners and stuff like that. Like
Yes. Yeah, that would have been huge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we were waiting for this round and this matchup, because these two guys face each other, and for you, Chris, this was your only loss of the day.
Yep. It was my only loss in total. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
big work there, Tate. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
Then
no,
we
it's-
go to round 3. Round 3, Chris, you went against the Raymond Grey Knight. That's another tied
Yeah.
round.
Yep. That was
What-
the we're going first into Grey Knight, so knowing that they've got like 35 primary coming at the end of the game, so just pressuring as hard as I can and trying to stop that from happening. Couldn't stop the secret mission at the end. I was a bit out of position. He did a very clever play to flip my home field objective the turn before, and then was able to go up and then back down again onto it turn 5. So it was a very good play by Raymond to get his secret mission off. But I guess on really nice breaks there. The one thing that Raymond did, and I questioned him as he did it. He had his 10-man unit of Grey Knight Terminators with the Librarian, and he put one out in the open on the middle objective, and then the rest behind a wall. And I was like, "You sure you want to do that?" You kind of give them like a little bit of a hint. And he was like, "Oh no!" And then he put it behind the wall. I was like, "Ah, fair." And he's like, "Oh no, 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 no!" And then puts it back in front. I'm like, "No!" I gave you all the help in the world here. But yeah, which ended up meaning that I could charge it with Curse Cultist Brick, and then just picked up half the unit, and then I also charged it with the Chaos Lord, and that picked up the other half of it as well. So
Oh
Ooh.
was just-
wow!
I thought you were going to say it was to bait you into shooting the sigil unit or something.
it was the sigil unit, but I was like, I'm just not going to shoot it. Yeah, like,
But he also didn't miss when you clearly were going to multi-charge it.
yeah.
Or did he miss something else?
No, because this is the other issue. He was doing sabotage with that unit, and he wanted the points.
Rough. Yeah.
Which is again, why do you put it out in the open? Like, because if you've got a miss or sigil, like either way, you fail the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But anyway, like as it was just one little misplay. But apart from that, Raymond actually played really well. Like,
Oh yeah, so I'm just thinking with mist, it's still a normal move, isn't it? Even if he doesn't
Yes,
leave the table, he still has to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that does
Yeah.
make it.
You can't move.
yeah, but yeah, no,
I mean-
really, really tight game. Like, really
Yeah,
good. Played really
look
well.
real tight.
Yeah.
So
no.
what was the list? Was he 3 NDKs, 10 Terminators type list, or?
Yeah, so it was 4 NDKs, three NDKs, 1 Grandmaster and a Dread Knight, 1 Librarian on its own, 1 Librarian with Sigil with 10 Terminators, and then Drago with 5 Terminators.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's a good list, yeah.
Yeah, it is a good list.
It's solid.
Interesting list. What about you? Oh, Tait, you went this is a tie round. You went against Team and the Chaos Knight. This was kind of could it be in swing for any of you guys?
I think I was probably going to win. The struggle for me was making sure that it was a win in WTC scoring, because it was the first 2 or 3 beginning of the game. I can't remember how long. I was very sort of comfortably ahead, and then Tim drove up with us, and he'd asked me, because he hadn't played this GSC before. He'd asked me how easily I killed Chaos Knights, and I was sort of like, I don't know. I haven't played it with this army, but I'd imagine sort of 3 units can activate into one, and between the 3 of them, they pick it up. So he mathed out in his head how many units I had on the board and how many Chaos Knights he had. And this was Scorched Earth, and he just jammed like 4 Knights onto every middle objective and just started burning all 3 of them. So that was, and then to be fair, I made a mistake where I killed the one burning his expansion. I killed the one burning the middle, and I out OC'd him on my expansion, and then I had set up to charge the pure strains into a carnivore so it couldn't heroic and tag my 20 OC neophytes, and then charge 5 acolytes to finish off an injured brigand. But I forgot to charge my pure strains, and so he got the heroic off and got a burn off, which was my mistake, but that's fine. And then that took me down, swung the primary back, so it was making sure that I got the 11-9 rather than a winning 10-10. But Tim played that. I've played Tim a few times, and that I think was one of the best games he's played with me. He played it really well. Yeah.
That's
Nice.
interesting. And against an army he's never played against before.
Yeah, like he clearly thought about it, and I didn't expect it, because I definitely, like, I told him I had the ability to pick up the Knights, but I guess he just saw that was his out, was he was losing the game, and if he burned all 3 of them, it would take away my
Swing in his
ability.
favour, yeah.
Huge primary swing, yeah. Yeah. So it was a good play, I guess.
Yeah. And I guess if he plays it a bit slower, he can havoc you from safety, play a bit cagey, pick
yeah.
up some of your units. Oh, but
Well,
you're in trucks, aren't you? You don't have a lot of
I'm in trucks,
naked
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And then on that turn where he did jam all his stuff in the middle, I then disembarked everything and killed sort of like
Yeah.
3-4 knights.
Yeah.
And then the brigands picked it all up, but it was sort of too late. Like he'd lost the critical
Yeah.
mass of knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, he
did play it really well. Can't overstate it.
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
that's interesting. I think Tim in this one he has been playing for with the list with the Chaos Knight list and different small variation. Just it's not much to do in the dogs.
Yes,
Um, so I think genocide cult is something that you will not face very often.
for sure.
um,
Yeah,
and and when you play for the first time and you are not aware certain tricks will take you kind of like, especially when they start coming back, you kill them and the bloody bastard comes back and came back and it's like, come on dude, how many times I need to kill this guy? It's
the
very
one
frustrating.
the one shout out to Tim for I had 3 or 4 neophytes which he decided one of his knights needed to heal, so he terror shaded them and killed them and healed the wounds on the knight, and then they came back, deep struck the full 10 man back in the same spot, and then shot and killed the knight with all the big guns back. I was like, thank you.
That's
Well,
right, because they don't have to come back on the blip now. They can just deep strike
no,
back
the
in.
ones with
Yeah.
deep strike can just deep strike. Yeah.
Yeah, deep strike unit can deep strike, so yeah, beautiful. That's so lovely too.
Oh, that's
um,
just
It was very
brutal.
funny.
for you it's funny. I think
Oh, it wasn't funny
can
for Tim.
bet, I can bet your team was not enjoying that shit, bro.
Yeah.
So day 2, round 4, you have a little bit of this. The round was released at night, so you have a little bit of time to see what was going on.
Eh,
But you knew was going to be your opponent, Tate. Eh?
And we were all telling Tate day 2 he's going to crash and burn and lose both games.
I don't know if we were. I think that was just you.
Oh, was that just me?
I distinctly remember you saying that,
I think it was only you.
and
Turtle,
Cam
but
a little bit. Cam
yeah,
was with the encouraging "Don't fuck it up now" all the time. Which was
yeah. I
always good. Yeah.
I said to come. Oh, you just jinx it now, and he is going
Yeah.
to fuck up. But yes, Chris, you started with the orcs.
Yes.
I saw the end of this game, saw the board. Tell us a little bit more what happened, because he has the list of Phil was interesting list. Has a couple of big robots there, but yeah, how was the game?
Yeah, it was an interesting one going into it because orcs can obviously put a lot of pressure on you, and Phil definitely always wants to put pressure on you. And his list had like 2 units of Power Claw knobs, like two units of 10, unit of Squig Hog Boys, like a max one with boss on Squig Hog, Gorkanaut, which was interesting. And then just like a 20 man of boys and stuff like that. Like, but like, apart from the Gorkanaut, a fine list. Gorkanaut is definitely questionable. But he wanted to play with his Gorkanaut again, and hey, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I realized that he doesn't have anything that can hold objective that isn't also really good at killing me. So I just needed to make sure that he puts his important stuff onto objectives, and then I can just wipe them off. I ended up going first, which I don't think was actually ideal for me, but I was able to do a really cute play where this was Terraform was the mission this round on a tipping point, I think. Was it tipping? Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
was the same as the day before. Yes, was Tipping
Yeah.
Point or was the other one Crucible of Battle?
Crucible. It's Crucible.
Yeah,
Crucible
Terraform.
was Crucible.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Crucible.
Anyway,
because-
so yeah. So like, I want to terraform early to like force pressure. So I put my scouting ACDC right on the left hand side to go into my natural expansion, and then I put the Rhino next to it that had Cypher and Legionnaires in it. And so I scouted up the ACDC, and then because I went first, they wrapped the entire objective but left a little gap at the bottom. So I parked the Rhino at the back, started terraforming with the Rhino at the back, and then popped Cypher out, so then he couldn't use strats around it either. And then I was like, if you can kill this and kill all the ACDs as well, like I won't get my terraform off. And he was like, so he tried to, and basically everything else just staged in my turn 1. And then he's like, oh well, I can't call the WoW, but he wanted to try and kill it, so he sent a unit of 10 knobs. He also dejumped his 20 man of boys into the center, onto the center objective to try and charge, make the 9-inch charge. But because of Cypher, it was going to be like 2 CP, so he couldn't, because he'd already used CP somewhere else, he couldn't re-roll the charge. It's just a straight 9. He fails that charge. So the knobs come in, kill, like, I think it's just the 10 mutants. I then end up killing the knobs unit in return. And then his Squig Hogs ended up on the 3rd objective, like his natural expansion. So I held my natural expansion. He had 20 boys on the middle objective, and then the Squig Hogs on the other objective. I was like, oh, okay. So I just popped the advanced charge +1 hit +1 to wound to all 3 ACDC bricks on my turn 2, and just picked up about 1,400 points of orcs on my turn 2.
Not the Gorkanaut.
No, not the Gorkanaut. Specifically not the Gorkanaut.
Everything but the Gorkanaut.
Gotta let him
There was
have
like, yeah, the beast boss was left alive, but that turn took so long because that was so much dice rolling. Like, activating 3 ACDC bricks in the same turn is not like an enjoyable thing with the amount of dice rolling you have to do. But it was very fun. It was very fun. It's like, oh no, your models goodbye. But no, so that was kind of the end of the game. I had most of my army left alive. Phil was able to get some points back. Basically, he on his turn 5, he failed a pivotal battle shock, which would have made it a 19-1. So it's like, it's just is what it is. But no, it was just a rough game because I got that explosive turn 2.
Damn. In turn 2, all go in. That sounds good. Lovely.
I brought up my my inner Patricio. Just go hard.
Go hard.
Yeah, so you had a WA turn, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The water. You stage everything, go all in, and just make things explode, and kill.
Yeah, I'll show you how to WA.
I have the wide WA, bro. The wide. Santa is my ally. What about you, Tay? You went against Dave Lewy. At that point, he also was the only one that was, I think, undefeated. Aldari, well, technically it's not Aldari, it's Inari, because he has a very heavy list on the Drukari side with a bunch of vehicles, and the scourges, of course, and some hundreds.
Yeah, it was a really interesting list actually. That was one of the ones that when the lists were released, and I was kind of flicking through because I play Eldar myself, and reading that I was like, this is bizarre, but it certainly performed well. Like, it was kind of just the classic early 10th sort of, once Wraith Knights and that kind of thing had initially been nerfed, just stack Dark Lancers and just give them Eldar rules, which still performs. And then he had like Wave Serpent, he had the Yvrain Brick, obviously, D Cannon, 3 Ravagers, Scourges, Drukari.
One D cannon, eh?
Only 1 D Cannon. Yeah, it was weird. And basically because I asked him about that, I was like, personally, I wouldn't go less than 2 if I was going to take them, because they're just so inconsistent. And he basically was saving fate dice for it to sort of like guarantee the damage would go through. Yeah, and it sort of performed well in our game, but I definitely could see it doing 0 damage for a whole game, the solo one. But yeah, it was a really tight game. It was kind of the only game of the tournament where I'd say he was able to kill me to the point where I'd lost my critical mass and was no longer able to sort of effectively do stuff. But it sort of just came slightly too late for him. Like, he picked up turn 3 or 4. I had neophytes behind a wall threatening to sort of OC dump his expansion in the next turn. So he picked up the mandrakes that had been screening his backfield to come and attack them. And then I, at the end of my turn, picked up my rock grinder and put it on his backfield, shot off the D cannon, and his next turn moved onto his backfield. So because he had bottom of turn, basically was able to sort of confine him to his expansion, and he wasn't able to utilize that bottom of turn scoring. Yeah, so just
Yes.
push. Oh, and I also had between regrowing, so I charged some neophytes onto his expansion. He killed them between all the ravages and the scourges they're in combat with, killed them down. And I had my expansion, nothing left alive over there, but it was sticky. And then my neophytes regrew from their banner and stole his expansion. I was able to get a really big primary turn, even 4 or 5, which was good. Yeah, but he played it really well. It was a really close game. Sorry.
He has also 2 units of short runners and the Viper. He was using those to get the bonuses there.
Yeah. So he was using the Shroud Runners for, I think, Shroud Runners give lethal hits, and then the Viper
Yes.
gives it more cover, and you sort of stack that on Codex Darklance and explode stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of damage into the vehicles. Yeah, which especially on the GW terrain, I was quite concerned about going second. Like, luckily, he sort of strat reserved a lot of the Ravages and the Scourges, so I was able to deploy a bit more aggressively with all the Rock Grinders and stuff. But yeah,
What did he has inside of the second
yeah.
um,
So
wave
that was a bit of a weird idiosyncrasy kind of where he ended up. He was putting Scorpions, or I can't remember, it was Scorpions or one of the Mandrake units in one of the Wave Serpents, and the other one had obviously the Yvrain Harlequin unit. But it's sort
Yes.
of, you lose out on your infiltrate or the ability to uppy downy the Mandrakes, because I think it was the Mandrakes if you're going second.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
first, can't remember. Yeah, but the Wave Serpents were like an interesting primary tool. But yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Just yeah, I have the same thoughts when I read the list as you, Tate. It's like I was not sure what was going on. Yes, it is that lot of dark lances, and yeah, yeah, interesting.
yeah, it is it's interesting. Yeah,
Did he run all Darklands Scourge units, or were there some Haywire mixed in as
he
well?
did. It was all Dark Lances,
Dark
which
That's very
lances,
interesting.
yeah,
and there's
I
only
kind of
2 units.
yeah,
Oh, two
2 units
units.
of Dark Lance. Yeah, I kind of agree with when I was running the Yanari list. I was doing 2 Dark Lance, 1 Haywire,
Yeah.
because I think in a lot of matchups the Haywire can be redundant, and if you really need to boost the damage, you have the Guide Seer for the Haywire unit. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's definitely the right call for 2 units of Scourges, but yeah,
interesting. So let me go back here. Last round 5.
The
Tate,
finals.
the finals. Yeah, up to here the only unbeaten into to this point. So you went to face Hamish with the Dark Angels. Um, how this one? Because this list of Dark Angels is I'm pretty sure is the one with the what's the
Is it
name?
the John Lennon type list with 3 units
it's
of
Yes,
Deathwing
yes,
Terminators,
yes.
Eradicators?
Yes.
basically copy paste John Lennon with Lancers instead of Scouts and the Inner Circle brick.
Right.
Yeah, which I think it's definitely a strong list, and he played it really sort of interestingly in that he went first and he sort of didn't give me anything and just sort of started staging, which meant we played like a very cagey game, and he was pulling like he was dicing me on secondaries, man. Like I'd pull like Mark for Death, bring it down, and he'd have like everything staged. I'd be like New Orders, assassinate, and then he was getting like cleanse, secure man's land, Deathwing Knights, go, extend battle lines, and establish locus, go. And I had like
Yeah.
no secondaries for 2 turns. The problem though with that kind of very cagey game was that I had bottom of turn, uncapped primary, a million OC, so I just went unbroken wall. He clocked out, and I just pushed all my models onto the objectives and went. I score 40 primary,
Oof.
which is but secret missions too strong, perhaps. But yeah, basic. He played it quite well, and I was quite because the thing with this list is my list is it can present you with a lot of problems and a lot of hard choices to make, and we were not playing 3 hour rounds, and I think he handled it really well, and then he definitely took a lot of time to think and be really methodical about what he was going to do, because I sort of had a lot of, like, he was never able to hold any primary because the second Deathwing Knight stepped onto it, I could just start tagging him off. But he played the game quite well. I think it was just a bit unfortunate with me going second.
What was the mission?
Makes sense.
Lynchpin.
Oh, yeah. When you said uncapped primary, I was thinking it was probably one of those ones where you can score all of your primary in turn 5, right?
Yes. Yeah. Essentially. Yeah. Good design.
Very, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Don't talk like that in here about GW decisions. We don't want him to.
Yeah. They've never made a wrong decision ever.
No, we love you. Release points already, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Tait needs a
we want
nerf,
points.
clearly.
100%.
Unbroken War needs a nerf, mate.
Oh yeah, and a command insertion. That one's also pretty
Yeah.
silly. For the armies that can do it, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. Yeah. Thousand Suns command insertion.
Yeah. Thousand Suns and Grey Knights, man. Oof.
Yeah.
I still like my Alaris Terminator brick. It's also fun.
I don't.
So fun.
Nobody like it. Where are you, man?
I am number 4.
There is. So you win this
Chris's
time
turn to
against
play Dave.
Yeah. So obviously we Tate went over the list. The key points for me in this list were the Dark Lancers weren't that scary. I do have 5 vehicles, but it's not the end of the world if I lose them. Like, especially if I get to activate with them first. It was actually the Shroud Runners which are really an issue, because the sniper rifles can snipe out the Dark Communes Demagogue. And then if I don't have that, you don't get the access. You don't have the 5 invol, and you don't have the access to the +1 to hit, +1 to wound, advance and charge once per game.
Yep.
So that was his gameplay. I reserved one of the ACDC bricks to guarantee that I had something to activate later on, and I could rapid ingress it. And then I staged one somewhere that was very safe, and the other one that was kind of the only other place it could go it was safe from the generic fire. But like, Shroud Runners have like a 14-inch base move or 16-inch base move, so like I wasn't going to hide from it. And he ended up going first. And then the biggest thing, because he had a Farseer Skyrunner, he failed guide on it, which was like, good start. And he was like, well, I have to go for it. So he sent out both units of Shroud Runners to hit my Demagogue and the unit that was more exposed. He sent both Wave Serpents out onto the center objective to also have shots at it. And he even moved his D cannon out to shoot the ACDC unit that was hidden, because he wanted to get the -1 to hit on it, which is quite smart. And yeah, he rolled all 2s to hit with the sniper rifles into the ACDC unit. And then he re-rolled the one free re-roll, got 1 hit, 1 wound, and then I failed the save, so my Demagogue was on 2 wounds. So that was not ideal. But he was very clever there, though, that he didn't shoot any other guns into it, so I couldn't actually surge move with it, because to get the surge move, you have to lose a model. So he was very specific with his activations there, which was like a very good move, because giving me that extra free movement would have made that game over a lot quicker.
Yep.
So he played very carefully, even though he was playing so aggressively. With the D cannon shooting the other accursed cultist brick, I had a very big decision to make. He's like, I rolled a 5 on the surge move. You can choose just not to surge, though. And I was like, I either go out into the open in front of 2 wave serpents that both have serpent shields, that can both pop a battle shock on me, like force me to roll a battle shock.
Oh.
So I sat there and like,
The
flashback
flashback
on me
Yeah.
for like literally 3 minutes. I was like, do I do it? Do I risk it? Because there was a huge momentum swing. If I get it, I pick up a lot of his army, because I can advance and charge and just send out a lot of stuff. And I decided, fuck it. Like, I failed 2 battle shock yesterday. I was like, surely I'm done, right? So I sent it out.
Happen. Yep.
He shot both serpent shields at me. Mate, rolled 2 7s exactly, which was beautiful. So passed both battle shocks. And then he charged me with like a unit of striking scorpions. I killed them in return. And then that unit was basically free to then go and kill, I think it was a Ravager, a unit of Dark Reapers, a unit of the Reaver Bikes, and something else in return, just for free. and then the other unit also tagged the wave serpents up and killed the shroud runners. So I was able to kill like 700-800 points on my turn one, which was pretty big.
Oof.
But saying that, the game was actually very close. Dave played it really well, and he just kept playing to his outs. He used the Harlequin troop unit really well to kind of like scalp her out where he needed to, kill and just kind of force me apart. I probably rapid ingressed my third ACDC unit to the wrong side, the side that I shouldn't have, because I forget how fast Eldar are sometimes, and he just moved everything to the other side of the board, and it took me an extra turn. So it wasn't until turn 4 that I got a charge off with them, which is just a huge, bummer. And I also I popped the advance and charge and rolled a 1, CP rerolled it into another 1, so for the advance roll, so that was good. But no, yeah, still I felt there was 2 points in that game that I felt like I might lose it, and it was his turn 1 when he was shooting sniper rifles into my ACDC unit, and then there was a point at turn 3 where I was like, this is like kind of risky, but ended up getting it. And then going second as well, just the primary swing up at the end was just huge. I didn't actually have that much left, but just having a couple of units on linchpin is just all you need, really. Especially against Eldar, just die to you looking at them.
Interesting, yeah. So, people say Eldar have been nerfed, but it sounds like you both had the most lethal matchups against Dave at this event.
Yeah. I don't... It was definitely one of the harder games. I think part of it is the sort of volume of the shroud running units put out. The Harlequin brick was actually kind of hard for me to deal with in a transport because he sort of put the transport on the objective, and I could pop the transport, but then I can't, because I can kill it quite effectively, but then I just sort of get multi-charged by the Harlequin unit.
Yep, they'll pick up 3 units of acolytes easy.
Oh, more,
probably more.
Yeah.
Well, you don't give him more, Tait. You give him 1.
No, you do, because you have to kill all the other shit that he's put out. He kind of we both had several moments in that game where we were like, now I have to commit really hard.
Everything.
Yeah.
I also thought the Harlequin troop had fight first because I've always played it when they have
the Visark. The
Vizark in it. So I was like, oh, I can't charge it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, he fights first. And this is like turn 3. And he was like, no, it doesn't. I was like, well, that's an issue. Well, it made it a lot easier to do what I did next. But I was like, okay. But,
I think that would have actually been a really good addition in the matchup against you, because then you can let the cultists. Your range shooting's really deadly into the ACDC.
Yeah,
and then they can surge into you, and you fight first, and the fighting is really deadly as well.
Yeah, and then especially if you can see the Demigog, you just epic challenge and it just kill the. You can. It's quite brutal. That's why I was so afraid of it. And then I was like, oh, okay, sweet. I can actually just charge into you. And the silly thing is, because the unit is so big, the Demigod can often just stay behind a wall, so you can't epic challenge it. It's just such a big unit. As long as you just be a bit careful with your placement, because obviously you don't want to have to kill the big guys if you don't have to. But yeah, it was. It was. I think the fights first would have been huge there for sure. But I understand, just with having everything else in the list, when you have 20 odd Dark Lancers, it's hard to put other things in.
Got to commit.
That's the one.
Yeah, that sounds. It is a scary list. It is. I was not sure. But I think also Dave has played with the Eldari for long, so he knows what he's doing. That means that he will take the best of that list and will make you suffer basically for every mistake that you commit. And you can see both of your games were very close, very boarding a tie. So yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Overall,
do you want to just bring up the final placings and quickly go through it?
I'm going to bring the final places, but I wanted to hear overall the impressions of these 2 gentlemen about the tournament. I guess it was quite the environment there was quite fun. People was really chill, and looks like they were all in the same mindset, is having a good time and you know enjoy the stuff, which is super cool.
What
Really,
was
really.
the what was where was the venue? What was the venue like?
So
Oh,
it was at a place called Digital Natives Academy, which is kind of like a little school and stuff like that, but like for like digital arts and stuff. Really cool place. The people that run it are also big nerds. They run D&D sessions and stuff there. And when
Very cool.
Rotorua Wargaming got kicked out of the older venue, we got to move there, and then they didn't charge us rent for the first like 4 months until we actually got our numbers back up, and then we could afford to pay rent. So they're really great at like cultivating our club. And now, yeah, they just run events there, like as long as they don't have anything on that weekend. But like basically, it's free use for that whole place. It's an old bank as well, and the vault itself is where we store all of our like stuff, which is very funny. So you have to go into
Oh,
the
that's
actual
very
like
cool.
huge like the old school like
Yeah,
bank
yeah, yeah.
like doors that roll and
Yep.
everything.
Yeah.
So like all the terrain and stuff and the boards gets stacked in there, which is quite funny.
That's
But
very
yeah,
secure.
yeah, exactly. We need to, because that's the most expensive thing when there's like 150 computers in that place or something crazy.
yeah, someone steals all the terrain.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
All our MDF cut boards.
Ah,
Dude,
But
what are
no,
you
it's a really
talking
nice venue. It's got AC. Like it's pretty nice. You can't
Very
fit
nice.
that much more gamers than we had. You could probably fit another like 5 tables max, but that would be pushing it.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's a
so
cool venue.
about 30. You could probably go to about 30.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
32, I
Very
think you
nice.
could probably fit.
What was the? You remember the one that was the teams event that was over there with the clubs?
Mm.
That was not a teams event, but was kind of a
Yeah.
inter clubs or something like that. There was, I think, there was 16 tables, 15
Yeah,
tables.
I think it was 16 tables. Yeah, because it
Yeah.
was yeah. Which is, and that fits because you can go. There's like 2 ways you can move around. We didn't get to use one area because people were playing Magic the Gathering and Flesh and Blood down that side, so we didn't need it. So we just let them play their area. But there was more space if we needed it, which was really cool. But no, really nice venue. Like, it's a really good spot.
Yeah.
Parking is annoying because you have to pay Saturday mornings, but it's only until midday, so you pay like $5 for parking, and then that's it
Oh,
for the weekend.
that's very
Not too
reasonable.
bad.
I was going to say, yeah. As an Aucklander, when I was told
Yeah.
really expensive parking the first day, we're really sorry, it's really annoying. I turned up and paid, and it was $6. I was like, what? This is a bargain.
That's like an hour here. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I go to Auckland, I always cry when I have to pay for parking. It's like $20. This is absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah.
Outrageous. Yes.
Oh, so Liam came third. Interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
Big
Yes.
dog. Yeah.
Liam came third. He got a small
Well, now
loss.
that had to happen.
I think Dave was unlucky because he got 2 losses against you both guys that went first and second. Otherwise, he couldn't have
Yeah.
easily been in
Well,
here.
he did get a buy round 1, so the 20, that first round 20 is
Yes.
a buy. So like,
come on.
Oh, right,
It's
okay.
just Ryan. It's just Ryan.
Also,
yeah.
Oh, is it because Ryan was his opponent didn't show up?
Yeah. Ryan was round 1 for
Is
Dave.
my name here? Look at that.
Oh,
Oosh.
There you are. Yeah. Damn. Undefeated. My guy.
wow.
Yeah.
He had the highest
Same as
score.
you, bro. Same as you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically undefeated. You
Undefeated.
should have just given Pato zeros for the rest of the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
that
should.
would have been good. That would have been good.
Yeah.
Somebody took those serious. Now, as I said to you, they were the first day they were with one less player. So me dropping put everything even. So it
Yeah,
was
that
just
was nice.
How generous.
Yeah, it wasn't because you were scared at all.
no. I wanted to Tate win something, so I just
That's
Here
so
we go.
kind of you.
Yeah, here we go.
Thank you.
you know me, bro.
My glorious benefactor. Thank you.
Nah, he's just salty because you're a better Eldar player, that's why.
I'm absolutely a better Eldar player. Look, every
Yes,
event we both played Eldar, I always place higher.
Yeah. You keep saying that to yourself. It's okay.
It's
One
a
day
fact.
we'll.
It's in BCP, mate. But the evidence is there.
Okay. We will need to check our stats about that. But yes, you're a good player, Tate. We know you have the brain capability to play bloody T-Suns and play it well.
To be fair, T Suns at the moment is not that hard.
You need to remember a shit ton of rules, bro.
You do,
Um,
but
yeah.
then mortal wounds spray out and all as well. Yeah,
Yeah, you
Used to
fix your
be-
problems pretty easily.
yeah,
Actually, are you both going to lakes as well in November?
yeah.
Yep.
That's the plan.
So you should both take Elder. We'll settle this once and for all.
Oh,
Ooh, that will be.
that sounds like a challenge.
Let's see how the points go with the.
Oh,
Oh,
Here we go. Here we go.
doesn't
Yeah.
want to drop off his broken bullshit.
Chris,
What are
you
you
want to
talking
join
about?
us? Shall we bring Eldar as well? Just to
I'll
Sure,
bring it
all
out.
of us-
I'll bring it out. That'll be a heckin' good time.
we'll just all bring Eldar.
Let's
all
bring
play
all
the exact
Eldar.
same list.
When it
Oh,
gets
that's even
shouted
better.
down so
Yes.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We can
Yeah.
do that.
we
100%.
could all bring the same list just to prove once and for all.
yeah.
You know who is
And then it
you
turns
know
out
who is
Charlie is the
building
best Eldar player.
Yeah.
you know
You've
who
seen my dice, man. If it's a dice thing, then yeah.
Yeah.
you
Those
know
sorts
who
of dice.
started Eldari army now? Or
Kobe? Kobe?
Kobe. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Kobe is starting Eldari after he
Oh,
he speed on the Eldars after he just hate him with all his soul. He now is embracing the better
Well,
Eldar.
Everybody hates Warp Spiders until you play them, and then you're like, holy shit, this is crazy. And
Yep.
like moving 24 is, who would have thought, a lot more fun than your opponent moving 24.
and then just sitting up there Overwatch going, would you like to move?
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby.
Also, the Phantasm into Overwatch as well. It's like such a
Oh,
Yeah.
So good. So many fun
stupid army.
things,
Such
bro.
a stupid army. I do have some Elder. We'll see if there's enough.
You have some. Well, I can lend you some stuff.
No,
bro.
Oh no,
be
you're
playing-
running Elder as well.
Yeah.
Well,
you'll
Yeah,
be
but
playing
I
yours
have
as
enough.
well.
I'm pretty sure I have enough Eldar to lend to Charlie and still be able to play.
Probably.
I have
probably.
boxes of stuff that I don't require. That is like, well, I have enough of these units. I don't need more to stay. You do the same, Charlie. So don't. Yeah.
I didn't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
I've seen you guys' team's faction spreadsheet of who owns what, and it's just Charlie with green next to him for the whole thing.
It's absolutely insane.
Not for every single faction.
Bar what? 1?
2.
Oh, my mistake.
It's not good. It's not much of an argument.
Yes. And what is your new army, Charlie?
I don't have one. I don't have an army until points come out. And
No,
my
no,
captain
no.
assigns me an army.
The new army that you bought.
Oh, you mean the
No.
fun project? I bought a few sisters models. Gonna try my hand
Few
at painting some
sister
sisters.
Have you count how many points you actually have?
Nope.
It's not a few points, Charlie.
I still
think
need
you-
immolators, I'll tell you that much.
But what I'm hearing is that you own everything except immolators.
Well, and Rapintia.
Oh,
Oh no.
no. Yes, so bad. Yes, but yeah, that is Charlie trying to talk you shit when he's the king of shit.
I'm gonna show my daughter this episode. Just
You can do that, bro. Under your own responsibility. I clean my hands. Yeah. I'm already teaching my daughter bad words, so I cannot be responsible of your daughters. Sorry. It's enough. For 3, 4. How many kids I have, Charlie? 4. 4 kids.
why are you asking me? Like,
great father.
Father of the year. Don't ask me the names because I mix them all.
don't you just name them after yourself so it's easy to remember?
That's I could do it that with the first one. Yeah, the first one is called Patricio. All the other ones have different names, and I couldn't say a thing because when we realized that he's going to be a boy, I said to my wife, "Cool, he's going to be Patricio Junior or Patricia in this case." And she's like, "No, I don't like that. I don't like that they have the same name." Yeah, I don't care. He was going to be Patricio. You can put the name of all the other kids if we have. I don't care. This one is going to be Patricio. And that's what happened. I went to the register and put Patricio. Done.
So does
And
this
then
mean that we can start calling you senior?
Yeah, Hayden
Technically, I'm
Cora
junior.
alleviated of oldest man in 40k.
Yeah.
Technically I'm junior because my dad is also Patricio. So Patricio is junior. So
Don't you just
and
get the moniker of senior when you like add the name to your
I,
son?
I don't know. I
well,
will
he's the
say
middle
Junior.
one, so
Only
he's
junior.
just mid.
But
He's
I'm just
Patricio
Patricio
mid.
the
Patricio.
average.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the
yeah,
average. Yeah.
the
Yeah. So you have
unremarkable.
senior,
Yeah.
Patricio, that is me, and then junior. Easy. But yeah, that's that's why I don't remember all the other kids because nah, just kidding. Just kidding, kids. Sorry, sorry.
They're all actually listening at the door, tears slowly rolling down their cheeks.
No, what I do is I put the video here in the TV so they can listen me to just swearing for 2 hours, which is not different to me watching football, for example, swearing for 2 hours. It's very South American, bro. It's nothing different there. But yeah, it is was an going back to the point. It was a really interesting tournament. Really happy for the Rotorua Wargaming Club that they finally went for the 2 dayer. Sadly or unlucky for them, they had some drops, and but this is part of the when you start the time, how you advertise outside of the community. The dates maybe also are very crowded at the end of the year. I will say, but they did the first step, and I think he is. They are going to the right direction. Will be cool to see other events. They always do quite fun things that you have. They have small tweaks there that they makes. It's not really 100% competitive. They are more focused on the more community, on the fun
Yeah, the
games
growth.
and the growth, which is cool. You go there, go to Roto Vegas, have a good time, fun games. I think couldn't be better.
All I heard was bring 2 Lord of Skulls.
On
Pretty
GW
much.
train, you definitely could. Like,
Yeah,
that
exactly,
actually sounds
exactly.
horrific.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's so fun.
And get paired into Frankie round 1, the dream.
Oh, so good. Yeah, Angron needs a kill tally.
Yes, it is. But yeah, Chris, you also did the raffle for the WTC.
Yes.
That went well for what you were telling us before.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Thanks to you, Patricio, for sponsoring most of the prizes as well. You gave us the box. I actually have it right next to you, right here. Like, yeah, Patricio sponsored this box. It came with all the goodies inside. He sells all the stuff. Well, not that, but like he makes the objective markers and everything. So it was just really fucking cool that he did all that. I also like asked him like 3 days before I wanted to set the raffle live. Hey, Pedro, can you like get these sorted for me? And he was instantly, yeah, 100%, I'm in. It's just amazing. Thanks for all that support.
Nah,
We raised like nearly $400 for Team New Zealand in a week, so that was incredible. So like, thank you very much for that.
and I think what I was trying to bring with this is that you will trying to be doing more of these kind of things like raffles or giveaway where you guys the community will be able to support the team, but also giving something, getting something in return, like
Yes.
the boxes edition that was made. The objective marker is nobody else, a part of the players with the name and the team New Zealand that went last year. They have that objective markers, so something that the people will not be able to buy there. Those
Yep.
ones, yes.
Yeah.
So I guess that is cool, and you are going to. It looks like you are. very on to that part of the supporting Team New
yeah.
Zealand on that, eh?
I just realized how expensive it was after going, and I was like, you know what? If anything I can do to help make this cheaper for everyone else, that would be
Let's
good.
do it.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Tate is giving the Team New Zealand legal advice for free. Um,
Am I? Yes. Yeah.
do you not receive? Do you not receive the
No,
email, bro?
nobody told me that. No.
Oh, shit.
Cam did ask me about something about incorporated societies, but then I forgot, so I should probably message him.
You forgot the
that
law
is
side of things, or you forgot he
I
asked you?
never knew that to begin with. No, he messaged me when I was on holiday, so it slipped my mind.
Oh, that's fair. That's
that,
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, that apparently is something that is pressuring and is important. But yes, yeah. Thank you both for coming and tell us all about your games. It's really cool to see how you both face the different situation. Also, was we were very lucky that you both, well, not for you, Chris, but very lucky that you both play against each other because Tate got the best part, but fun story. The failing to bloody
That's
yeah
just
battle
yeah.
shocks.
It was a good
Yeah,
game though. Like I really enjoyed the game. Like it was fun. Like the entire way through, it was completely played by intent. We always knew what each other was doing. Like it was a very fun game to play, even if I was
Yeah.
getting my ass handed to me the entire time.
and
Yeah.
I guess that's a good point. You were playing with them with Tate, and both of you knowing, telling each other what's the intention, what you want to do, and you also kind of help your opponent. Like I don't know, you remember them. Hey, remember, I can blood search if you do that. I know what you're trying to do there. Are you aware of that? Yeah, sure, cool, go for it. But that is, I guess, the games that you enjoy most when you don't get that gotchas. Like you knew that I was doing this, and it's a lot of information that to remember sometimes. I guess.
It is.
100%.
Yeah. So will be cool to well, both of you will be on the Teams event. Oh no, Tate, sorry, you're not.
I'll be
Highlight.
watching online. Yeah.
Watching online. It's
I'll be
not
Yeah,
what
you're
we
gonna watch
want.
online.
No,
It's
no, no.
not
I
what
mean, I'll
we
be
want.
watching the scores on.
Streaming.
I have secret cameras in the house.
Yeah, you've got spy cams at Cosy Club. Just
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Your
watching
parents,
us
Matt,
play.
all wired.
You
Yeah,
maybe be able to see it online. Maybe.
yeah.
Well,
That
depending.
stream table.
Maybe. I love the face of Charlie. It's like, fuck, Patricio, what are you trying to
Can
do?
we
This
just get the players pack done first, please?
That sounds like you problem, not a me problem, bro.
It's definitely a you problem.
That is a me problem. But I am working on the terrain, so we can have enough terrain, and I think I'm already behind schedule.
Excellent.
Cool.
Nice.
I hear Rotorua Wargaming Club has some G-dub tables we can use.
Yeah,
They could be the light tables.
yeah.
Definitely the light table, 100%.
Awesome.
But no, we are going to have it. That's good. Thank you very much, guys. I really enjoyed having you both again here. Tate, this is your what, third time?
Something like that. Yep. I've got to be in contention for the most common
You and
guess.
Michael, I think, and Chris. This is
I think
also
I'm
your
my
third time.
third. Yeah, this is my third.
Oh,
as
so
well.
there's three-way
Yeah.
tie.
So now you got to get all three of us on next time.
All of us reviewing our Eldar lists for Lakes of
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that would be fantastic.
Reviewing Elder list for lakes. That we can do that.
How many of the
yeah.
same Elder list can we bring to Lakes of Blood?
You
Yes.
lose 1 point for every duplicate unit you've taken, as everyone else.
Oh yeah, Dave Louis would win that.
yeah.
But that will be cool. Thank you both, guys, and we will be seeing you in Teams and the rest of the events. Thank you for all the support. I know you guys are there to spreading the word. I have seen Tate commenting and you, Chris, always giving support. So that is to help us, and we keep going on this thing. How was the number state of the event again? I've completely forgot about.
I think it was high teens, somewhere mid to
I
high
think
teens.
I think it started as 19 and ended as 16 for the
Yeah.
event.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was 40 plus, but yeah,
Oh.
could be wrong.
Every time you make that joke, I don't
Always.
pop on, and then every time you say the punchline, I'm like, banger. Yeah, got him again.
You're so slow, Tate. That is fucking hilarious. I put that in the comment, and you took like what he's talking about. Come on, Tate.
No, I in the comment I clocked it. It was just like the first thing I saw when I woke up, so I didn't react to it. But
Yeah.
I got
No.
it.
I think the event originally had something like 24 registered, right, Chris?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
looking-
sometimes
yeah.
it just drops.
Just
Yeah,
things happen. Yeah.
for sure.
It is, and I think I hope that they don't get that on the hard way, and they take it well and just try it again. Yeah, that will be the best.
What are you
Yeah,
talking about? We run 60-man events.
I was going to say, like, wasn't your first be less people than that?
No, it was 20.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, is
it
it
was
20?
close
No.
though. Yeah, our first
Oh,
one was
yeah.
20. But no, it's like you still get a super, as long as you've got the right players, it's still a super fun event.
Yeah,
right?
it was a great event. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds like some amazing games were had. So,
Yeah. Shout out to Jake and Alexis for running it as well. Like Alexis Teo and the whole thing, and I think between both of them, they organized it. So like, if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't have happened. So big shout out to both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Setting it up.
Alexis, if you're hearing, you should have been here, but you don't want to. We're all good. Sorry, I just needed to do it.
Next time.
Cool, guys. Thank you very
Um,
much. Good night.
Yeah, thank you and congratulations again, first and second. Yeah.
Yes.
We don't care about third.
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Or is it the player?
No. Shout out to Dave for coming forth.
Yeah. And best painted.
And best.
Yes.
Of course, Dave's beautiful outer army. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
And
was
Raymond
no
for
doubt
best
on that.
sport.
Yeah,
Raymond got best
yeah.
sport.
That was
That's
fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's a really, really fun player. Fun person to play
Yeah.
with.
It's good, lad. Good, lad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, boys. Thank you. And we will
Thank
see
you
you
very much.
again. Bye-bye.
So,
See ya.
cheers.
Excellent. Have you? Did you have time to do
No,
anything in the
just let
place?
me go do. I'm not going to do any more tonight. I'm tired. But hopefully tomorrow
Dude,
I'll have time to
you
finish it
go to
off.
sleep 2 a.m. That's what you have sold me all this time. That you go to sleep 2 a.m. 3 a.m.s.
Not this week.
Okay.
Feeling my age this week.
You're actually tired, bro. Sounds good. You go and take a break. That's so good. I think
But
we are yes.
so next episode we want to cover the Manawatu Maelstrom event.
Yes.
See if we can get a guest invited for that one as well. Go through that because that looked like a really interesting event as well, with some of the stronger sort of mid-central North Island players going.
Yes, correct. And after that, we will be focusing in the teams event. So we'll come with the review probably of the list if they are up, review of the process of pairing teams and all of that. So we are going to try to give you all the things that trying to cover everything as much as we can.
Yeah, and because I think not too many people have played the WTC pod system, so we'll cover that as well, just to give people an idea on how pods work, why we want to run it, how the appearance process work, and how you can prep for pods, and yeah, how to approach the event as a I guess a team that hasn't really done that format.
Yes,
So stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. You have we have something that we need to do, Charlie, but we are not going to do it now, but you know what we're talking about. We need to do the 2 giveaways, the dice,
Yes, that's right. Yes,
and
so thank you.
the objective
Yeah.
markers.
Thank you very much for everyone that's supported us. We have reached our targets, so thank you so much for supporting us, and we will be doing those giveaways. We were trying to do it live at the GT that we ran, but we couldn't get it to
Yes.
work. So so we want to test our Facebook Live features, which we have supposedly unlocked
Yes.
now, but we'll figure it out.
Yes. So we are going to try to do it as soon as possible. It's just a matter of that we can organize and have everything set to do it. So yeah, thank you for supporting us. Keep subscribing. If you have not done it, subscribe in the bloody channel. Follow us in Facebook. It's not that the way that you have to say it. I will need to ask Chris Voss how to do this part of the thing. He has way more people than us. Yes, but now subscribe, follow us, and yeah, enjoy the content while we are here.
I'm gonna go
Goodbye,
now.
Charlie.
Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye. Have a good one. Stay spicy as always. Oh no, that's